34, Establishment of Strategic Oversight Committee. Okay, I'll move that. Seconded by Phil. Is there any discussion? Glenn, Yanni, Paul.
Thank you, Mayor. I will support it, but just a wee note, if other councillors could have a go at some of these things sometime, would be really appreciated. So, not questioning the ability of those on it, but I think some of us are getting a bit missed out, so it would be good if every now and again we could just be included in some of these, these pretty critical committees would be good. Any comment there?
Look, I normally speak at the end, but I'm going to speak now because I don't want people to think that this is anything other than what it is. It's a chair of chairs. It's the chairs meeting. It's the meeting of the chairs of the committees. So it is made up of the chairs of CHED, ITI, Finance and Strategy, and Regs and Consents. It has the Mayor and the Deputy Mayor. I chair it, Deputy Mayor deputy chairs it, and as a result, it also rearranges the deck chairs on the Strategy and Finance Committee. That's a terrible way of putting it. So Councillor Manji takes over as the chair, and I take over as the deputy chair. So it is a strategic oversight committee. It's called a strategic oversight subcommittee because it is made up of all of the chairs of all of the committees. It means that we've got oversight of all of the agendas, of all of the meetings that are going on through those. So it is certainly not a reflection on any other councillors. All councillors work very hard. This is a group that I wanted to have formalised as a council committee. I'd hoped to do that through the Finance and Strategy Committee. That was not a position that I was able to pursue at the time. I think we have agreement now that this provides a link point with governance and management. So we will be able to meet on a formal, regular basis with the council executive team, chief executive and myself. And I think that that's a very good structure that will improve dialogue, it will improve decision making, and I think it will improve the functioning of the council. We've only got 12 months to go, so we can make it work. So, thank you, Yanni.
Yeah, I just had a question as to how this committee will be informed of the wider council law's concerns and issues, and how it will report back to the wider membership of the council, and whether or not any councillor could attend if they wish to.
Paul?
Yeah, look...
Sorry, that's a question.
But we're debating the motion.
Oh, you want to debate, no question?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, sorry, well, I'll speak to it.
Well, I thought that's what you were doing. Sorry, I thought they were rhetorical questions because they're all answered in the paper.
Well, they're not.
It's, sorry, I'm not being facetious. I honestly thought that was the point that you were wanting to make.
No.
We're appointing a subcommittee of the council. It has no decision-making delegations. None. Not one decision-making delegation are we giving it. It is simply an oversight committee. It reports back through the normal friendly channels of communication that we all enjoy with each other.
Well, okay, I'll speak against it then. I actually think this is really significant, and I don't support having a smaller committee that goes away and provides advice, governance and strategic direction without a clear framework for how it reports back. And if you take some of the examples of things like meeting with certain people, the fact is that we have no process by which those who aren't in this small group can raise things to get addressed. So we get huge frustration that things that should be relatively straightforward and simple are not being dealt with and have no clear process to be dealt with, and only those people in the know get invited to attend and can provide that level of advice that has been sought. So I actually think that this is divisive, not inclusive, and that saddens me because I think the strength of a collective council is a council that works together. So I don't think now's the time to be making these sorts of changes. I don't like having something like this set up without any clear reference to how it reports, who can attend, and therefore I won't be supporting it.
Very good. Paul?
Well, mine actually, I had some questions because to me it looks like we're delegating authority to the subcommittee to develop the annual plans. That's what it's in the terms of reference.
No, leading.
Development of annual and long-term plans and budgets.
It should say leading, which is the role.
Leading the development.
Which is the role.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't say leading. It says the development of annual and long-term plans in terms of reference. Elected representative priorities. That's probably my key part. Is we're a democratically elected, and if we're not involved or can't be a part of developing the annual plans.
Yeah. It's not. I'm the one who's legally required to lead the development of annual and long-term plans and budgets. That's my role under the Act. The strategic oversight group is to provide a steer. No decisions are being made by this group. I mean, I thought we'd had this discussion. I only found out about the strategic oversight panel about a week and a half ago, and it does not say leading. It says in the terms of reference, the development of annual and long-term plans and budgets. Yes, but it's providing governance advice and strategic direction to the council as an organisation with respect to the following direction advice on... Oh, God, that's even not right.
Let's go to terms of reference. The very last bullet is the development of long...
Yes, I know, but it's based on what appears before it. It says providing governance advice and strategic direction to the council as an organisation. Yep. So this is a governance group, and it provides governance, advice and strategic direction to the council as an organisation with respect to the following, and it should just take out the rest because it's a repeat of words.
Well, I'd be happy if you changed in the terms of reference that it would be, rather than the development of annual and long-term plans and budgets, the leading of the development of long-term plans and annual budgets would be my preference.
It's providing governance, advice and strategic direction. Read the top bit, and then it's with respect to elected representatives' priorities, legal and policy matters relating to the transition, including Regenerate Christchurch, governance, direction and oversight of organisational transformation projects, including Great for Christchurch, and the development of annual and long-term plans and budgets. So the idea is that this group provides some strategic direction to the organisation. It can't make decisions. And one of the things that would be a clear example is that this group would say to the chief executive and to the executive leadership team, this needs to go up to council now. You can't proceed down this track until you've got council sign-off. It's actually alerting the organisation at what point things have to come back to council for decisions. It is not taking away the responsibility of council as an elected membership group to make the decisions. This group cannot make decisions. It is simply providing some strategic direction, and we engage with each other in order to get a steer. We're talking about the chairs of the committees. Every single one of you is on committees. I mean, that's what it's all about. But I'm just gobsmacked. Phil.
Can I just say that, we don't have any committees which actually include all councillors. This is to make the strategic part of our work workable. And I take from the terms of reference that it is about an ability for this subcommittee to coordinate those strategies. And I would, as a proposed member of it, I would welcome ideas from all councillors, and I'm sure the committee would, as to what we all consider our priorities around our strategic direction as a council. I've actually been looking forward to something like this subcommittee to pull our strategic direction together for some time, and I'm actually very pleased to see it. Now, it's important though that the advantage of this subcommittee is it will have minutes and that will report to council. So there's every reason for all councillors to be really involved with it. And I reiterate, I invite suggestions about what we all consider as priorities in terms of the direction of council.
But in all due respect, if we'd been given the opportunity
Point of
to
order.
ask questions.
I've just made my speech. I thought this was debate.
Yeah, it is. So,
So
we've got no opportunity to actually ask questions. We had to go straight into debate. If we had opportunity to actually ask some questions, some of the stuff would have been cleared up.
sorry,
thought
I
you'd given your
thought
speech.
that the two groupings had a good discussion about this. I apologise. I thought that you had. So, I don't know what.
Put the motion. I'd like to debate.
Yeah, no, and I'm just trying to work out a. Yeah, I think we are too, but you know, there's. I mean, I know that some councillors always have a problem with delegated decision making. So when we set up the insurance subcommittee, there's, you know, that was opposed. By very few, but everyone else was willing to hand over the decision making. This isn't a decision making body. This is actually just to provide a strategic steer to the organisation.
I've asked a question. If I'd been able to ask the question without having to go straight into debate, we could have had a bit of a discussion about it, would have got a better understanding.
I thought that people had a discussion.
No.
Paul, I'm sorry, I'm
That's okay.
apologising to you. So what would you like to...
No, if this is not a decision-making body and it's not taking away our opportunity to be part of the development of the annual plan and long-term plans, because to me that's the fundamental part of what we do, I'm happy.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that we didn't get an opportunity to actually
I
clarify
thought
some
that
of
you
those things.
had. I really did. I do apologise. I thought that the two groups had a discussion. Andrew.
Thank you. So the point I think has been well made that this subcommittee is not going to have any delegated decision-making power whatsoever. And obviously, the big decisions that council needs to make around these big strategic issues and the big matters like the long-term plan, the annual plan, any other strategic decision, still rest with council. For me, this is absolutely essential. It's what's been missing for a long time, and it's what would have assisted some of the big issues coming through council a lot more smoothly. And without the need for papers to be sent back because the papers didn't ultimately reflect the view of councillors and weren't capable of being debated and so on. I'd also make the point that with membership of this committee comes responsibility. So any member of this committee has a responsibility to communicate with the other councillors who are not members of this committee. And also has a responsibility to behave on the subcommittee in a way that reflects the view of the whole council. There is no point in this subcommittee debating things in a way that brings recommendations or results that are not aligned with the ultimate view around the council table. So I believe that all of us that are on this subcommittee need to have a reasonable overview of what the view of council is likely to be, so that we're bringing recommendations or bringing work from the subcommittee which is likely to be supported by council. Otherwise, we lose the value of having the subcommittee. But the key points here are that this subcommittee gives a proper opportunity for conversations that have needed to happen for some time to happen in a situation which has got both formality, so minutes can be taken, and status, so there's a way of reporting to council. So I strongly support this. I think this is actually the key to getting the most out of the rest of this council term, and I strongly urge other members to do the same.
Thank you. I'll put the motion. All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. That's Jana Johansson opposed. Okay, so now we're back to the... Oh, have we done 37? The council submission on the Environment Canterbury Bill?